The Vinnie's CEO Sleep Out is being held tonight on one of the longest and coldest nights of the year. Hundreds of business leaders from around the nation, including the New South Wales Premier, will sleep rough tonight to raise money for the homeless. Already this year's Sleep Out has raised almost $7 million. Joining me now are some of those involved, the Chief Executive of Vinnie's New South Wales, Yolanda Sayers, as well as two of those taking part in the CEO Sleep Out, Tom McKellar from Lendlease, and Chief Executive of Reventon, Chris Christofi. Great to see you all. Thanks for being with us this afternoon. Yolanda, first to you. This fundraising event goes from strength to strength, and it looks like a wonderful fundraising effort for this year's initiative as well.
Yeah, thanks, Kieran. It's amazing. I think the event holds a very special place in the heart of our participants. And the reason I think that is because when they get to the event, they actually do find it to be very eye-opening. It does actually advocate and educate about the issue of homelessness, and they get to listen to the stories of people who have a lived experience of homelessness and the people that Vinnie's has assisted who very generously open up and tell their stories on the night. And I think that's why we continue to have the support of so many CEOs. And it's a wonderful fundraising event, obviously, for the organisation because it allows us to run all of our homeless services across the country, our outreach, helping people with bills and food, as well as our bricks and mortar services such as homeless shelters, domestic and family violence refuges, drug and alcohol programs, and many, many other services.
Well, yeah, nearly $7 million already raised for those initiatives. It's great to see. Tom McKellar, why is it important for you and on behalf of Lendlease to be involved?
I think, as we know, in Australia, we're facing acute affordability crisis with housing. And, unfortunately, the most vulnerable parts of society get affected disproportionately by the housing affordability crisis that we're in. So from our perspective, our participation is really about raising awareness about the affordability crisis we're facing in the country and hopefully trying to advocate for change.
And Chris Christofi, I know that you've been involved in the Sleep Out for a number of years. You've raised more than $500,000 over that time. I just checked your account. You're up over $100,000 for this year. This must be an important moment for you each year to be a part of.
It's a very important cause for me. Homelessness can happen to absolutely anyone. And as mentioned, it doesn't discriminate. It happens to young children. The fastest growing demographic is females over 55. So it could be absolutely anyone sitting on the street. So I'm very proud to work alongside great CEOs, great people at Vinnie's, and I'm very grateful that people donate their time and money to assist us to get over that 7 million mark. 9 was our all-time record, but to be able to assist, it's very humbling on behalf of myself and my team.
Yolanda, it is a difficult time, as Tom mentioned as well, in terms of making ends meet for a lot of people. But do you see this happen quite a bit? Someone like Chris who gets involved and then just embraces this cause each and every year?
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said, we've got many people who've done the event year after year, some as many as 10, others as 15 years. And we can't do it without them. And I think what's important is that they not only do the event on the night, but many of the participants actually then go back to their workplaces and they engage in programs, raise more funds. We've got many CEOs or business leaders in New South Wales who then connected themselves to a particular service and continue to raise funds for that service in their workplace or through their own networks. So it does build longer term relationships. They do engage with different parts of the organisation. Many of our participants go out on the Vinnie's van, for example, and provide food to people who are living on the streets or living in difficult conditions. So it goes far beyond the event. And what's really important for us is that we ask these business leaders and community leaders and also obviously politicians who attend, after they leave the event, we ask them to take the experience. It's just one night of discomfort, it's what it really is. But we hope that after listening to the stories of the people who've experienced homelessness, a little bit of discomfort sleeping out in the cold for one night, they get to go back to the warm bed. So we ask them to advocate on the issue when they leave the event and try and effect change in the corridors where they move day to day.
Yeah, fair enough too. And Tom, I guess just to pick up on what Yolanda said there, it must be a humbling experience, giving a bit of perspective when you hear from those that have had to battle homelessness.
Absolutely, and I think we get a tiny fraction of the experience that they're going through. But really, hopefully, it's for us to learn about what we can do more and really advocate for further change to help people.
And Chris, do you get that sense as well? It gives a sense of perspective for those of us lucky enough to be in a position to raise funds, but those people who are stuck or have had a hard turn in life end up on the streets.
100%. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of help to offer someone a little bit of hope, because we're all fellow human beings. So to be able to bring that back to our workplace and to really embody that message that homelessness can happen to anyone. We're one of the most livable cities, Melbourne, Victoria, and Australia is such a great country. We should be eradicating homelessness. So the only way we're going to be able to do that collectively is we all work together side by side and roll up our sleeves, raise funds, raise awareness, and really tackle this issue head on.
Chris Christofi from Reventon, Tom McKellar from Lendlease. All the best with the Sleep Out, gentlemen. Thank you for your time. And Yolanda Sayers at Vinnie's, great work and all the best with the fundraising initiative. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you very much.